Can you update us what's the latest of the copyright bill now? Like since December, it seems like it's stopping the track. But yeah, can you update us?
Well, and there's lots and lots of speculation about where it is, so I don't know that anybody can speak with absolute certainty. But what we do know is that, obviously the government didn't introduce the legislation back when it was anticipated in December. Was put on the order paper, wasn't put forward. It's still on the order paper. There was some expectation it would be introduced early in February and then later in February. Again, that didn't happen. There is a sense that it is delayed even further. Well, it's obviously been delayed. We're now into April. And while it's been on the back burner a little bit as the government's been dealing with some of the other issues like the budget and some of those issues, if we get through some of that budget process and we don't find ourselves in election mode, and it seems increasingly likely that that's the case, it seems likely that copyright will be back on the agenda before long, so that the prospect of a bill sometime this spring, I think, is a very real one.
When it comes back on the agenda, do you think how much better is the bill going to be compared to what it was before? And under the current political climate, like would the government has a good chance of actually passing it, or there are enough opposition to stop the bill from being passed? What's your take on it?
I don't know. I mean, I think this is, there's lots of people with crystal ball gazing about some of these issues. I think the sense is that the bill was obviously not going to be a good one in December. I think everybody has a general recognition of that. The sense is that there were not dramatic changes made over January and February. At this point in time, I think there is a bit more hope for change. I think, given these longer delays, given the fact that I think that there are more people within cabinet and even within the government that have started to that have heard from many of their constituents and started to question some of the approaches, that there is the possibility that the bill will be better. Though I still remain a bit of a pessimist that we'll see a true forward-looking, made-in-Canada solution at this point in time. It's the pressure we're facing from the U.S. and some lobby groups suggest that some of the provisions will not be that great. In terms of where the opposition parties will stand, I don't think anybody knows. I think the NDP probably has the most clearly articulated position, one that stands against a U.S.-style DMCA. The Bloc is probably is more supportive, and I don't think that the Liberals really know where they're at, other than to say that they introduced Bill C-60. They'd be comfortable with that. Whether they'd be comfortable with the legislation more along the lines of a DMCA remains to be seen.